In this episode for home buyers, we talk about why it's not your fault you don't have a down payment saved. This is episode 41 of the Inside Real Estate Show. With me, Darin Persinger, your host here at Inside Real Estate Show and of Persinger Group. PersingerGroup.com if you want to go check us out online. By the way, if you're searching for a home, that's a great place to start. PersingerGroup.com. Inside Real Estate Show. This is the place where we give you the insight behind the information, giving you the analysis and advice so that you can make smart home buying, home selling, and real estate investing decisions if that's your thing, if that's what you're up to. So in this episode, we're going to talk about home buying. We're going to talk about how the heck do you save for a down payment? And to be completely candid, the topic of this episode is inspired by my business partner, who's also my wife, Catherine. She wrote this article for our monthly newsletter, and I thought it was such a darn good concept. And she makes some really good valid points that I wanted to cover in this episode. Before we get into that, let's do a number of the day.
What's the number? Stop, stop. What's the number? Stop, stop. What is the number? The number of the day.
89. It's a percentage. 89%. Let me give you context of what this number is. When this came from a survey from loandepot.com. When talking with people that are wanting to buy a home, that when asked, would you like to buy a home, they say yes. When asking that group of people, that category, they discovered that 71% who want to buy in the next 2 years and will need financing, 89% of those people actually haven't taken any steps to see if they could get a home loan. So when looking at a category of people that are thinking about buying within the next 2 years, 89% of people haven't taken any steps to get a home loan. Man, that's a huge number, 89%. If you're in that category, do something to move yourself out of that category. Let's do some housekeeping.
Housekeeping?
If you live in the Snohomish County area or you're looking to move into the Snohomish County area and you're wondering what's there to do, we keep a website updated with events that are going on, things that you can go do, things that you can see, whether they're timely events or timeless places to go and check out. And that website is snohomish.com. So if you're wondering what's there to do, go check out snohomish.com. Now, into the main topic. As I said, this topic comes from, is inspired by my wife, Catherine, who wrote this article for our monthly newsletter. And she titled it, "It's Not Your Fault You Don't Have a Down Payment Saved." So we have meetings often and we're talking about clients, prospects, people that we can help. And one of the big things for first-time home buyers is they just simply don't have a down payment saved up, and or going back to like the number of the day, they haven't taken any steps to realize that they're actually in a position to buy, that maybe they don't need as much saved as they thought that they did. So I just want to cover this topic really quick because I've done episodes on how to save for a down payment and ways that you can kind of hack that process and get ahead really quickly. But I just want to share with you what some of Catherine's thoughts on this topic were. So it's not your fault that you don't have a down payment saved. Life is more expensive, it's getting more expensive by the day, and saving is tough. You have student loan payments, you have car payments, utility bills, grocery bills, health insurance. Cell phone bill is not cheap, cell phone itself is not cheap, and you're just trying to have a little bit of fun along the way too, right? even if you're good at budgeting and you know exactly how much you have coming in each month and you know exactly what you have going out each month, you have those unexpected things that show up that really put a wrench into the whole system. For example, this is some stuff that Catherine talks about. Your friend gets engaged and wants you to be in the wedding. That's great. Did you know, though, that the average cost of being in someone's wedding is $1,500? So you have a sorority sister or a frat brother from college that now lives in Dallas, Texas. You have to take time off of work because you have to be there for the bachelor or bachelorette party, buy the dress, rent the tux, make the trip, buy the gift, whatever. That's expensive. That eats into your down payment fund. Or your car runs perfectly fine until one day it doesn't. Unexpected $1,200 mechanic bill. We've all been there. We've had a few transmission problems with some different types of vehicles that we own that we don't own anymore. Pet gets sick. If you have a pet, you know how that goes. And I guess you can get pet insurance, but does it really cover that much? I don't know. I've never gotten pet insurance before, but I've had some sick pets and some emergency visits because of pets, and that stuff ain't cheap. That will eat into your down payment fund really quickly. Or here's one she wrote down. The Seahawks have a big game coming up. Can't miss that. That will set you back when you look at parking, food, and tickets, $600. Yeah. You know, that could be anything. That could be a concert that you really want to go to. There's a concert coming to town that I want to go to, and I thought, like, man, let's get some VIP tickets, because how expensive can they really be? Just the normal lawn tickets were like $300, and so I didn't even bother to look to see what the VIP tickets were going to be. And the reality is that all of those things that I just listed, it's not unreasonable, it's not uncommon for all of those things to happen in the same year, or even in back-to-back years, or even in back-to-back-to-back years. Stuff like that just happens. So yeah, it would be great to buy a home if this stuff wasn't happening and I could actually save for the down payment. But, you know, is it even worth trying? Is it even worth it? So here's what my wife, business partner Catherine, wrote. Which, by the way, Catherine works with the vast majority of the buyers that come into Persinger Group. She's great at that. I don't know anyone better than her at working with buyers. So here's what she writes. Here's my advice. Let's get together and talk about one or more of these things. So you could reach out to her. I don't know if she meant this for everyone on my episode on the Inside Real Estate Show, but I'm going to say go ahead and contact her. Her email is Catherine@PersingerGroup.com. Catherine@PersingerGroup.com. And get together and talk to her about one or more of these things. Number one, you might not need a down payment. You can put zero down, and there are two major loan programs that don't require a down payment at all. What's the catch? Well, depending on the loan type, there might not even be a catch. One loan I'm referring to will mean that you'll pay 0.25% higher interest rate, 0.25% higher interest rate. Marginal, fractional increase. So totally not worth delaying your home purchase over something, a fraction like that. Number two, even if you do need a down payment, you don't need 20% down. Side note, Catherine didn't write this down. Yeah, she didn't write this down. This is my commentary. It's amazing to me how many people think you still need 20% down in order to buy a home. That's just not true. That is a complete myth that still exists. It's like an urban legend that just will not go away. So back to Catherine's notes here. Number two, even if you do need a down payment, you don't need 20% down or even 10% down. You personally or your home you're buying might not qualify for zero down, But the next best thing would be 3% or 3.5% down. And you can usually get away with one of these small down payments easily. It's actually really, really rare that someone puts 20% down. And when they do, it's probably because they sold a home and are now using those proceeds from the sale as their down payment. True. And number 3, I've personally saved for down payments 3 times now. The first time when I was 22, single, and every penny I had earned was from serving tables. Remember, this is Catherine writing this. I have some experience with saving money and would be happy to share that with you. So, it's not your fault you don't have a down payment saved, but there's 3 things to consider. You might not need a down payment. You don't need 20%. You can get away with very little down payment. Or if you want some money saving tips, contact Catherine at Persingergroup.com. And as always, I like to remind you at the end of these episodes that home is what you make it someplace you love.